Hey guys, it's Matt. Somebody not too long ago reached out to me and very seriously asked me, Matt, are you possessed? And I don't believe so. Okay, I just want to make that clear right up front here in this video. I use The Exorcist. I watch it on television as a baseline reference. I don't think I'm possessed. I watched the Britney Spears ABC Nightline interview as a baseline reference. I don't think I'm that either, with different entities trying to get out. It depends on my mood. And right now, it's not good. Okay, watch this every night, 6:30 World News. I have to watch it. I have to keep somewhat abreast of what's going on in the world or whatever they're manipulating or whatever they got their sticky little, slimy little fingers in. I have to watch it for the sake of the channel. I can't be completely ignorant. So I have to sit through that demon Jinn, Iblis character, whatever, Nora O'Donnell. She's the lesser of many evils. I have to watch the CBS Evening News, and it's like Israel and Gaza from Rocky. I'm not Matt, when you give this sort of a presentation, this is why people say you're possessed. I'm not possessed. It has to do with my mood. Gary, our friend Gary, the other day in a comment, Matt, Midnight Reality was really good, but you seem really manic. I don't even know what that means, Gary. It depends on my mood. Okay, I'm not possessed. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll do Melvin and Bezzo. The Free Voice about overcoming fear was much more controlled and calm. If Sunday's video was your first interaction with me, somebody would walk away from that and say, this seems like a completely logical and sane individual. But you know better, right? I'm manic today, right, Gary? I don't even know what that means, and I'm not going to look it up. People have said to me, just as Ted was told by Molly Ringwald in 16 Candles when they were sitting in that car together outside the high school dance, she said to Ted, you could come back after summer break as a completely normal individual. And Ted said, yeah? You think? People will say that about me. Matt, if you keep doing these videos and you train your mind and get rid of the demon spirits and the multiple personalities, you could come back to YouTube as a completely sane and rational individual. And then you could just make videos about secret societies and how they control everything. And there is no such thing as not milk. And there is no reason to look at the outer ring of the screen. And that's my biggest gripe and what I want to talk about today. The spiritual adversary that's here, I call not milk. There's so many that don't see any adversary. It drives me crazy. I've referenced the channel before as an example. I haven't watched it in years. The boot at the gas, is it boot at the gas pump? Whatever that means. It's conflicting ideas, if you ask me. But these people come on and they're spiritual teachers and gurus, and they seem like nice, touchy-feely, homesteader-type people. They seem very nice. I don't want to make enemies with them. They're probably the creme de la creme of all the cretins we have to deal with in this world. They seem like nice people. But I don't listen to the channel anymore, guys. But has one of them ever talked about the spiritual adversary, the not milk? Again, at least I'll speak for me, Christians have a lot in common. Because, Matt, call not milk Satan. Call it what it is, they tell me. No, I don't think it's that. But at least we see the spiritual adversary. How many of these touchy-feely, shiny, happy people, gurus, they don't even mention the adversary? This book I read not too long ago, The Limitless Mind, Russell Targ, on, what is it called? Remote viewing, all right? Some interesting ideas towards the end. He gets very touchy-feely, very kind of spiritual, some big thinking. Our perception is all around, and it expands outside the body. ESP, second sight, all that. Okay, great. There's some interesting parts. No, I'm not going to cozy up too much to it when Russell says he works for the CIA for 15 years. Oh yeah, obviously, I don't think it's going to be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but I'm still going to read it. As I said, if Satan was speaking down at the park here, I'd go listen to him. So yeah, the fact that you did the remote viewing, Russell, for the CIA for 15 years, I'm sorry. I don't think you're exactly working for us, but I'm still going to see what I could get out of it. The back half of the book is pretty big thinking and very interesting. However, no mention, the whole point of my gripe here in this video, no mention of the spiritual adversary. It's not just, it's always like this. I mean, okay, there's segments of the truth community. Fine. I appreciate that they see that there's a bad guy here. They don't take it to the spiritual level, the one arm of the Vitruvian man as the spiritual tug of war, that's where we've taken it. But at least the first, second, and third grade truthers are at least they're saying there's a bad guy here trying to screw with everything. At least we have that in common. But I don't just go back there and say, oh, it's the secret societies, Freemasons, Rosicrucians, Manly P. Hall lectures. That's not, we know it's more than that. It's not just men and women running around. We don't want to get in that same reality discussion we've had many times. Okay, but at least they see the adversary. At least a Christian sees that Satan, okay, when I referenced Noor O'Donnell earlier, the Iblis or whatever, that's like the Muslim or the Islamic Satan. I don't understand that thing either, but it's Noor O'Donnell. Okay, at least they see the adversary. All these spiritual gurus come on these shows like Boot at the Gas Pump. They don't talk about the adversary. And some people have explained to me that, well, Matt, they've risen above it. They're not going to mention what you guys run around and worry about what George Soros is doing, little George in the form of a monkey and all that. No, it's not that. A few of them maybe, but they don't see the adversary here. Some people call them New Agers. I don't know what that is. I don't want that explained to me. I don't care what that is. I'll take little bits and pieces away from anybody that I listen to that resonates with me. But as, quote, New Agers, maybe they're so afraid to be similar to a Christian that they're afraid to, I don't think this is it. I don't think they even see the adversary. But some may be like, oh, I don't want to be seen as a Christian. If I call out an spiritual adversary, then that sounds like Satan, and I'll be labeled as a Christian. I think that's something very nice that I have in common with my Christian brothers, and we're in the foxhole together. And here comes another mortar round from the Not Milk. Oh, what's this mortar round called coming in? Boom! Here comes their latest mortar attack. It's called Israel versus Gaza. It's constant mortar rounds from the level of a spiritual adversary trying to interrupt our worry about yourself journey. It's so obvious. I'm pulling the hair out I don't have right now. Why are we, other than our Christian brethren, they call it Satan, we're the only ones that see the adversary here when it's so obvious? Reality gives itself away. I mean, please direct me to Buddha at the gas pump interview where they're calling out the adversary. I mean, and it's again, that's the only like touchy-feely channel that I know. So I don't mean to pick on those people. They're nice people, and I would want to, if I could break bread with anybody, it would be those types of people. If I could go live in a commune somewhere, like it wouldn't be labeled David Koresh type thing, it would be with those people, right? They'd be very great from a permaculture type environment. I'd want to be with those people, but they don't see the adversary. And this is where I think they get things drastically wrong. Now, I call the spiritual adversary here too many things, but at least we identify it. Matt, you have, talking about they don't even see it, you have too many damn labels for it. You're right. The Not Milk, the screen, the outer ring of reality, the asshole dark, the plumber's ass crack that sits over the natural world. I'm sure we have the creeps, all sorts of different names for the spiritual adversary. And what it's here to do is so obvious at this point. We pull the hair out that we don't even have, saying, how come all you people can't see this? Reality has given itself away. What it's out to do to our incarnation is so simple. It's one sentence, maybe a long run-on sentence with a lot of commas and semicolons, whatever they are. It's the adversary to disrupt, to switch consciousness into, say, a different frequency or resonance where it can't understand what it's supposed to do in a lifetime. So it just serves it with the frequency that it wants to feed from, and it's louche. It keeps one from its full potential. It distracts. It changes consciousness to confuse one in terms of what the life goals should be, putting the entire emphasis on the parts of our experience here that are attached to the material world. The ego, the body, the frontal lobes of the brain, the think and the spellcraft of English, to completely ignore the other aspects of ourselves, to hide the other aspects. The other side, the soul, the spiritual side, doesn't even exist. Okay, it plays its game in a lot of different ways. It would be a very long run-on sentence if we continued this. But it's so obvious to us. It's obvious to many Christians. Do Muslims feel the same way? And that's the Noor O'Donnell. They call it like their devils, like Iblis or something like that. Or, okay, where are all these people giving self-actualization advice on the adversary? It's not just good enough people to be shiny, happy people giving advice and laughing. It's not good enough. You can't truly get where you need to go unless you see the adversary here. This is a hardcore pipe-hitting game. Has there ever been a football team that took the field and they got out there and they lined up and they went, there ain't nobody else out here. Where's the other team? Well, if they don't take the field, we can still win. There's nobody to oppose us. There's no adversary. What should we do? It doesn't matter. There's no other team to oppose us. Just throw the ball up in the air. So the quarterback throws it up in the air and all. Where'd that guy come from? Intercepted my balls. Pick 666. That's a pick six in the NFL for the human being and the spiritual man with the Vitruvian arm ripped off. It's pick 666. You need to see the other team. If we knew exactly what to do, then studying the other team wouldn't be important. We know exactly what steps to take, what plays to execute. We don't know exactly what to do. This incarnation is about being Tommy, deaf, dumb, and blind kid. Come in here not knowing anything about anything, who you once were, where you came from, what is this place, what is this universe. So studying the adversary is incredibly beneficial in revealing to us who we are, what we should be doing. Even in no other sense, but looking at the asshole dark and saying, well, that asshole's out to get me or out to be a team competing against me. I'm just going to do the opposite. So if you can evolve to a certain level, the adversary is very useful in giving us information. At this point, I'm not saying to make a little not-milk stuffed animal and stroke your not-milk and love your not-milk and caress your not-milk and hug your not, but study it. See what it wants from you. We've talked about this many times over the years. That tells you a tremendous amount. Reality gives itself away is not just some phrase. That is reality revealing things to us. We're not supposed to know everything. The whole incarnation is about coming in here, Tommy. And I don't love the term, but mind wipe is the word that we have to work with. I don't love it, but we do. We come in here not knowing shit about shit. We sense you wouldn't be listening to me. Of course, that we're a timeless being that existed before birth. You wouldn't be listening to me if you thought you were just some spawned up creation that just came out of nowhere from a big bang because the old parents' stinky old in and out procedure just came out of nowhere. Matt, don't you know the sperm fertilized the egg? Oh yeah, well that's what makes the body. That's just your little Hertz rent-a-car. And how about those obnoxious commercials with Tom Brady that are all over the internet? If I see one more of those, I'm going to throw up. It's just a rent-a-car. It's because of this mind wipe that a gigantic portion of our brethren, our research community, they yell that the reality's been hijacked because of the mind wipe. But they don't do it in the calm way that I just said it. They do, the reality's been hijacked. They scream it off like the boy that cried wolf from the tops of mountains and peaks and the Dover cliffs. Hijack. No, see, the mind wipe, we need a better word. We need a better word. It's necessary for this particular incarnation to not know who you really are. A few book chapters ago, we explored this, and it seems painfully obvious that if we knew who we were in totality, the existence before birth, where we came from, had a better understanding of what this place is, this experience wouldn't work. What was the example I gave? The kid that worked at the grocery store, so they wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. Matt, your boss is on the phone again. I'm not coming in because I realize I'm a timeless being and this is just a train stop. I ain't getting out of bed. This whole thing is ridiculous. I'm never going to get out of bed again. I'm just going to wait it out for the next 70 years. You wouldn't take anything seriously. The whole reality has to be believed in. The mind wipe is necessary. Not knowing who we are is necessary so the reality is believed in, at least initially. The not know takes advantage of that, harvesting your attention and energy until a few people can overcome it. In this modern society, it doesn't seem like most people are going to overcome it, but you wouldn't get out of bed. Remember, say, tell him I'm not going to stock his shelves anymore, and tell him he dresses like a gigolo, and tell him I got that from Ocean's 12, and tell him this, and the roommate just hangs up. You wouldn't take anything seriously. You wouldn't get anything out of the incarnation. Is this a stretch, or is this just common sense? The Not-Milk and its minions is a role player inserted into this reality that takes full advantage of the fact that we do take this reality too seriously. It has us then worried and stressed and in a state of anxiety and all sorts of different frequencies that feed it. It needs to get paid. Right? It's a role player in this reality. Think of the not milk as like the sheepdog and the wolf, that Looney Tunes, where the sheepdog, they punch in the morning. Good morning, Red. Morning, Ralph or Sam or Wolf. The sheepdog just pounds on the damn wolf all day long. And then they're friendly on the way up. Good night. Maybe when you, Matt, are you saying, Matt, on the way out, I'll be like, goodbye, little George, and your I liked you in the form of a monkey. Thank you for the role you played, little George. I don't know. Maybe, but it's a role player. See, it's doing a job in this reality system, as dark as it is. Adi said, I wouldn't sign up for this trauma, and then she's going to be upset with me because I said that again and take her ball and go home. Just know, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then convince me otherwise. Send me an email once a week convincing me otherwise. The role players here need to get paid for their performance. What did Triple X say in the diner? And their performances were terrible. Their performances here are becoming terrible. They were great in the 70s, 80s, 90s, right after the big day. They're becoming terrible. Look at Joe Biden. He gave that speech. It was out in Tel Aviv or whatever. It was completely incoherent. It was like World War Z. He was like he was bitten or something. But it's just like the diner scene. Their performances are getting terrible. But these role players here need to be paid. And the head honcho is paid in energy, attention, what we call loosh, certain frequencies, stress, anxiety. Yeah, that's sick. Take it up with whoever set up this reality system. That's sick, but it's necessary for this hardcore pipe-hitting experience. And here comes some of the trolls. See that Matt, he's a defender of he calls the not milk and the minion. He defends it. It's a necessary role player. It is a necessary role player. Goes right back to the Bible. Jesus up on the mountaintop with Satan. If Satan wasn't, we've been over this before. It's pretty much common sense. If Satan wasn't supposed to be there, you think he would be there? Jesus, the Son of God, God is he's just powerless to get rid of the Satan character. No, he's supposed to be here. That's by design. God, from a Christian perspective, God's not powerful enough to go in and just remove him. No, he's supposed to be here. Jesus isn't just powerful enough to say, get your ass down from this mountain. Stop showing me this stuff. I ain't be tempted with your crap. He didn't say it exactly like that. They would be powerful enough. The Satan, it's even in Islam, it's the jinn or the demons, it's similar. It's the shaitan. It's very similar even in pronunciation. It's a necessary role player here, no matter what you call it. But the main point of this presentation is almost nobody sees it, other than first grade truthers that say secret societies. And again, Christians call it Satan. I appreciate that. But even Alan Watts, I've listened to a lot of his lectures. I appreciate a lot of the big thinking. He didn't see any bad guy, apparently. I mean, I haven't listened to thousands of hours, but I've listened to quite a bit over the past 12 to 15 years, and nothing along the lines of a spiritual adversary, not milk, something that's here in this reality with us to impede, that needs to be overcome. It's just rare. It's so strange to me why we are the only ones who can see it. I have this Seth Speaks book here, and I think it's been laying around here for months. I only am up to page like 75. And some very interesting stuff. I don't want to turn this into a analyze the Seth books video. We'll do that some other time. But up through page 75, and it is small print, no mention whatsoever of anything like the screen, the not milk, the asshole dark, a Satan, the spiritual adversary, something that's here that's going to actively try to block you. Not a mention of it. Hey, thanks a lot, Seth. No, thank you, son. I make car parts for the American spiritual working man because that's who I am, and that's who Seth cares about. Seth, I hope on the next page, dude, you start talking about not milk. Come on, man. What the hell? You're supposed to know it all. Some spiritual being from the 20th dimension or something operating through Jane Roberts. Where's the spiritual adversary, Seth? I better be careful. I don't want him rising out. Matt, you talked about possession and personalities. He'll get in your ass like Basher. Where's Basher? Bashir, what's this guy that has this alternate? He brings in this other entity or whatever. What does Basher have to say about the damn not milk? How come all you people from the 10th dimension don't see not milk? Maybe we are crazy. We've done the list many times of how reality gives itself away. That all, in a way, proves and points back to spiritual adversary. We never get a win. Pendulum only goes in one direction. You never hear certain announcements saying things are going to be made easier. What this power structure that never helps anybody, just stays in business. Nothing is ever improved. Nobody ever talks. Whether it be the Queen or these presidents, and they're all related to each other. I mean, it's overwhelming evidence. If I had a book of 1,000 pages, I would fill it up in one day. All the way reality gives itself away that the spiritual adversary exists here. Again, who listens to that channeler guy, Bashir, whatever? What does he have to say about this? And does he know Seth? Somebody fill me in the comments on Bashir. Does he see the fake school and mall events that we can see? If not, what's the point of being in the 12th dimension? Well, maybe Seth's saying back to me right now, or try to communicate with me through the chat GPT, that Seth might say, I ain't got no Jane Roberts no more. Matt, maybe you can ask somebody in your community to volunteer to be the new Bashir Jane Roberts channeler for Seth. Okay, maybe is anybody willing to invite Seth back in here? I ain't going to do it. I got a channel to run here. I got enough personality issues roaming around here. Michael came to me. Michael, who sees beyond, he says, I can get those things out of you. Michael, I don't need that. Okay, I don't have that issue. If it's a Britney Spears personality, fine. It's not an entity. If I need you, Michael, I'll contact you. Somebody, though, may be very interested in inviting Seth into their body, like Jane Roberts channeled him. I mean, just something to think about, at least. But as I'm reading this book, it's this huge, I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of pages, this tome, or Seth Speaks. And I want to do like the Morgan Freeman in the parole hearing when he said, the younger me, Morgan Freeman said, I want to talk to him. I want to talk some sense into him. I'm reading this book, Seth Speaks. I'm like, I want to talk to him. You want to talk to the 10th dimensional being? Yeah, I want to talk some sense to him. Like, Seth, why are you making this so complicated, dude? Why? It's a half page. I mean, I look, because you're the 10th level Jedi or whatever, the 10-dimensional being, you have more information. I'd like a little bit more information. And what I've read so far, guys, is very interesting. It's way too complicated. I'm only 75 pages in the first book. There's nothing that I would point to that I would call that as complete bullshit, although I am not a 10th dimensional being like Bashir or something that could call that out. But there's no obvious mistakes so far, like applauding Neil and buzzed for the number 11, in the landing. That he's not doing that sort of thing. There's nothing obvious, and there is some relationship, in some of the things Tony has talked about to me. But I'm reading this going, Seth, why are you making it so complicated? And then I look down and go, oh no, there are more books. Seth and Jane, we don't need thousands and thousands of more pages talking about all this complicated, your perception is universal, all this horse shit. We need simplicity. But maybe that's why he was allowed to speak, Matt. Did you ever think of that? Whoever set this reality system up, all source creation, your God, the Council of Higher Selves, whatever it may be, the Council of Elves, whoever set this reality system up, you would think that Seth or even Bashir, whoever that is a violation of the rules here. You can't have some 10th dimensional being coming in saying, let me tell you all about your soul and all about yourself. It said maybe the council said, let him speak. What? Let him speak? Well, we know Seth. He's a bloviator. He'll work through Jane Roberts for years, and they'll put so much shit out, nobody will believe it. It's the boy that cried wolf was a very simple, but it was a lie. It was the wolf. That's simple, but it was a lie. The boy that cried wolf, a hybrid of that, is the boy that cried wolf is telling the truth. He's really not crying wolf, but it's so damn long. He's up there on his mountaintop preaching for months and months and months that nobody pays attention anymore. We get any more Seth books. He said, the Council of Elves or Elders or Source or your God said, let him speak. He'll put so much bullshit information out, no one will believe his ass. That way it's not a violation of how this reality system is supposed to work. Maybe we can give Mike over at Sage of Quay the Seth books, because he knows how to read the Billy Shears book, the memoirs of Billy Shears. I believe Mike said you have to read it in the 3 different levels. There's the levels for the great unwashed or the uninitiated and whatever that means. And then Mike says you got to read it this way. That there's code words. I bet Mike's got a trained eye from this memoirs of Billy Shears stuff, which is like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs or something. Mike and I'm not joking. There might be like a way of reading the damn Seth, but it's just too much stuff. It's too damn long. Some nights I go to bed, say 10 o'clock, 10:15. I pick up the damn Seth book, turn on the little reading light. The room lights are out. 2 pages. I'm not joking. 2 damn pages. I'm sound asleep as Seth starts to bloviate it. It's interesting, and there's a lot of it that resonates as true, but it's like, oh God, I just gotta, Zara, move aside. I just gotta. That's why, Matt, at this pace, you're only up to, how many months have you had it? And you're only up to page 75. Yeah, it's gonna take at least another 150 years. It'll be star date, whatever Kirk says, 24, 21 or something. Oh boy, is anybody going to get to the much of that? Let's see. 24 is 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, he laid the 9 down. I know where the troll. Get this out to the troll channels. And there's a certain channels that think I'm giving certain hand symbols. It'll be star date before I can get through the damn Seth book. Speaking of the trolls, is there anything lower than like some little cretin creature that listens or feels they have to listen to this channel? Like, don't you have anything better to do? And then, oh, what did he say? We're going to try to bring him down. And then make videos about what is said here or what I wear. I mean, don't you have any ideas of your own? Go bother somebody else. I mean, talk about that's so low. I mean, who would do that? What kind of creature? You know, I've made some, like I've said, certain comments over the years, like this channel's bullshit, but then I'll just let it go. I'm not going to like make videos about it, spend hours analyzing it. Like, don't you have anything better to do? My videos are long. Just the people at this channel, just to listen. It's hard for them to get through my videos. You're getting through my videos and then making videos about me? That's pathetic, dude. But anyway, about Seth, and I can hear somebody trying to talk to me now the way Morgan Freeman was trying to talk to his younger self. Matt, be very careful. That Seth is a demon, of course, that channeled through Jane Roberts. Again, I don't care if it's the pinhead from the Cenobites or whatever. I will listen to anything, take away what resonates with me, and throw out the rest. I don't care where it's coming from and who's giving the speech. We feel, and I can speak for you, our discernment is such now that we cannot be fooled. I will listen to anyone. If Seth is mostly spouting bullshit and just hiding little truths in lies, I think I'll be able to discern that. You can't discern that if it came from a 10th dimensional being or demon, Matt. Who do you think? Yes, we will be able to discern it. Why have we been doing the work we've been doing? I just took a minute, guys, to look up. I think I called him Bashir, like Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine. It's Bashar. Or Bashar is the ET entity channeled through, what's his name? Daryl Arca, I guess. I've watched 1 or 2 videos over many years. I'm not, who knows? Maybe it's real. It could be the greatest device of all time. I'm not that familiar with it. I'm not bad-mouthing it. Just, he became part of this video because we were talking about channeling through Seth. And I don't want to make no enemies with no Bashar or whatever. I'm keep open mind. I just want to apologize if I called him Dr. Bashir from Deep Space Nine. Better than calling him Quark or some other character from that show. But okay, if anybody's saying, you better backtrack it, Matt. Your enemy list is getting quite long, my friend. Not just with trolls and little cretins here. With spiritual enemies, you don't want to make enemies with whoever Seth may be, or Bashar, or 10th walk-in ET, or something like that. You mocked your higher self, Matt, 6 months ago. You started making fun of it or like mocking it or something, saying, get us out of here, calling up to it. It's going to take you, little Matt, over its higher self knee on the day of your death. You're going to get a good spiritual spanking. You better walk some of this shit back, Matt. I hear you, but I'm not that worried about it. Really not. I mean, Seth could be, from who we are once we get through this reality system and understand and get back home, I guess. Seth could be like a shoeshine boy to us. Who knows? He seems impressive now, but who knows? I'm not gonna bow down to anybody. That's the one thing I assure you. I'm not gonna bow down to anybody in this reality. No God, no messenger, and no God, no prophet, and no God. No Buddha at the gas pump, no Buddha's Zafa, caught my first tube today, none of it. I ain't worshiping nothing, sorry. Closest thing I ever did, I put some girl from high school on a pedestal once. That was a mistake, an absolute mistake. I put her on a pedestal. Then I went, oh God, what kind of Medusa creature did I put up on a pedestal? That was a mistake. I ain't doing it again. Not worshiping anything. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to participate in this reality system fully, get all that I can out of it on my way about myself journey. I'm not here to fix society or to send the creeps to jail. I see them as necessary little role players in a reality designed for me. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. I'm open to change. I'll look to your comments. Thanks for listening.